Okay. Now, so anyway, I want everyone to welcome Bernie and.
I don't know, they won't stop mispronouncing things, so I just thought he was going to go on and on with that. You know, so. But I want to thank John. John has got his own very interesting business with water weights that you hold in your hand and you hydrate and drink while you're outside in today's heat. And it's in sporting goods and outlet stores. He's about to explode that into the athletic space. And he's got a lot of celebrity and athlete endorsements. He's raised money for it. And that he, as a businessman building that out, dedicates himself to, lead a group of our team, which includes a number of people that are committed contractually to represent us for years. I have managers here. Jim Digert in the room. Where's Jim? Standing up. Jim's from Sarasota. He publishes Show Horse magazine, which reaches people that pay $50 million for a pony, and has kind of a really nice little group of publishing items that he's done for 25 years on the Sarasota market. And then he's involved with Tanya recently, one of our grads, who's on the board that Jim is associated with. Help her. Tanya's in the room. She's becoming quite a student. I asked for her autograph in first class the other day. Where's Tanya? Are you here? Okay. And Tanya's green glider, which is a mop, like your swisher, etc. And you put this wonderful shag carpet on it that you can use wet or dry. And my wife, September, in the back, which I'd like to introduce. September, if you'd stand up, because you're kind of... She actually runs things. Everybody is reporting to her. Our company, primarily by women. Her partner in crime is in Alabama is Cheryl Brenner. She's been the senior vice president of marketing since 1991. And what's difficult to understand about this place when you start to get poking your finger into it is this is a 25-year-old enterprise that started with a lot of these famous faculty members you've seen, but a lot of others that you haven't seen. How many of you know Les Brown? You've heard of Les Brown. I mean, most of you know Les Brown, but he's probably the most famous black, motivational, and sales trainer alive today. He's made $65 million in the training industry, and we're very close friends. I was just, most of you have been up for 40 hours, just me, I think. So I just got back from Los Angeles and was, unbelievable. I just was supposed to come and rest and speak to you, but the largest entrepreneurial group for women, it's called Empowered Women, which is run by Desiree Dupre. They were doing the film, television, live broadcast, huge event. They asked if I'd stay over and be this, the final guest of the whole thing, and I said I would. And I had just done the day before Les, and we had in a ballroom in Los Angeles, I can't tell you how large that was, and just all around the walls, much bigger ballroom than this is, excuse me. And, well, it sounds good up here, I'm tired. And so what happened is Les was on radio for 2 hours and had me on CBS, which is prime time during drive time in LA, and the boards lit up, and we were late for the meeting because the producers asked if we'd stay over, which took over an hour, for people that stayed on the line, some of them for 2 hours, just to get coaching from that radio show. And the producers, they all came in. The vice president of the Western Division came in and said, never seen anything like it. But the reason is we were giving them such practical help, such concrete advice. And the, pigeonhole I try to get you all to understand is there isn't a pigeonhole here. What is really unusual about this place is that people coming to the space to do a resort project for $500 million and to develop a single contact from an investor in Boca, where the investors there, the projects are there, that scale, those jumbo larger projects, the head of Nokia, Europe, the head of Memorex, people that have done $500 million M&As, are in there. And they're doing their own projects. These folks are there for each other. There's a third of this group of some of the most important business cards you'd ever get in your life. And you'd think you were at a Republican fundraiser. But you're sitting there with this group And they're so full with their agendas getting done, and many of them are coming only for the training. They're coming in a private plane, bringing their teams and their boards, and they're getting into the play of having a Wharton or a major university level refresher today, because their big companies are concerned about strategy, because you've got the EU with a lot of unknowns and risk. You've got China having some super inflation now, and it's really getting risky, and it's very hard to predict, because they're talking about if that's a hard landing, that's really going to affect Asia. And that's fresh news today. We have what you see in the Beltway, which is, we would like to, while Rome's burning, have them stop fiddling. Make a deal and solve some of this a little later. We don't want the world to melt down right now. And all that's going on simultaneously. The hedge funds are raiding Italy, and they've taken 7% of their wealth out of the country in 72 hours. That's the next one they're hitting. Greece's going to default. They've admitted they're going to actually go to default now. Will that create a contagion? We've got Spain, Portugal, Ireland still in the EU. All these unknowns going on right now. And you say, how do you, or do they, the larger companies, make their strategy? So the first thing they're looking for when they come is what we call income security. They're looking to protect the income bases they have now and to do it strategically. So we're like an insurance policy that if you have a bigger community, your opportunities and your ability to go through difficult times is so much easier than if you do it without that community. Now you have to understand these meetings are going on so I can't even sleep. So I'm in Los Angeles, I'm in Orange County, they're all like this. They're all standing room only, they're all over Canada, all over the US, and you belong as a member, you become a member, you have access to all of them. You want to open up market share in Denver, use it through our club, or Houston club, or Dallas club, or our New York club to, outside the country. We're in 140 countries. And so that's one of the things I want you to understand. In the middle group are professionals coming for their credits, but they get a lot of customers. A brain surgeon gets new clients. They take time off and they're kind of surprised they didn't just get the credits for ongoing education, but they were able to actually get business. Now CPAs, attorneys, engineers, architects, they get a lot of business. They really make money. And they're pleased because when you come and you're going to grow your business from what we do in our training, this is not a seminar, this is customer loaded. And then you've got a group in that middle group, there are 3 to 15-year-old businesses, that's where most of you fall. And, different levels of success. We have, single mom who wants a lifestyle. She wants to get from 60, 70,000 to 350, and really that's going to be her goal. And it's not why we built this, it's not what I want really. I want people to come that want businesses that they really want to construct so they could have a resale price. They could have a better advantage for growing some wealth, not just cash flow, and put the plans and the management and the systems and the team to make that happen. And by using this continuously, just keep growing market. Because when you've got all the country coming, you've got all of Canada coming, you've got 20 countries coming in just 2 weeks out in Vegas. And what we do is we set it up so you can run your business while you're there. So you're in 90-minute kind of breaks, and you can do your emails and your iPads and your Skype calls and all of the things. You're really very busy people have to run their empires while they're there. And so it's, I think that's exciting. In the development space, the third that are in the development space, you might have 50 million behind a biotech launch, and it's pre-mezzanine or just pre-launch, and they're coming up out of that development space, looking for their demand side. The faculty at these tables that you're sitting with, when you saw that man at the end, that kind of excitable man that I just left, Jerry was one of the top 3 people heading up the departments for the branding for Procter & Gamble for 20 years. That's the biggest brand shelf space marketer controlling more brands than any other firm in the world. When you've been with that camp at the top for 20 years, that's not small potatoes. He in LA was the man of the year by the mayor of LA for what his contribution has been to entrepreneurialism. And every faculty member at these tables has contact grid that is off the chart. And they all coach Fortune board chair, folks at the largest company level. They penetrate about 87% of the Fortune 10,000 companies. So if you wanted to get to Walmart or Home Depot or Home Shopping, which I'm going to introduce Bob Sacosta in a minute, or you want to get to any particular market channel, these folks can bounce you to those channels and have. When you want to get in somewhere, we're already there. We win countless awards every year. Best New Inventor of the Year, Best New Consumer Electronics Product in Vegas, Best New Toy Product at Toy Fair in New York, Best New Pet Product, Best New Automotive Product. And I can name the specific products if you would like. And I'll give you one journey, because you saw him in a red shirt and jacket there, and he was wearing a NASCAR jacket, because his NASCAR is winning. But when he came to us, it was a struggle. He was in a room like this. He had to make a choice to come, and he had to find the resources to come in. It was hard for him. He was a guitar player. He didn't have a business. He had a little invention that his grandfather had died. He pulled it out of the barn where his, grandma used to get out of the ice and mud and snow with it in the 20s and 30s in the Michigan farm. And he didn't know what to do with it. And when he got in, he got engineers helped him, and he got patents for it, and so forth and so on. What did we do for him? He has a 9th grade education. He's in 40,000 retail stores right now. He's raised over $15 million. His packaging for his box, the manufacturer we introduced him to in Asia, is still using 5 years later. All the distribution, all the stores, automotive stores, Walmart. You saw the thing where the man that built the Walmarts is on faculty and fishes with the Walton family. But you've got these direct contacts, so we don't go in at the regular level. We have distributed agents for federated stores, fashion, pharmaceuticals, anything you want to get. You want to get to Walgreens, you want to get to Walmart. We're already there, people that are there. Like when Tanya is in stores now, she's having her first, she's raised money, she's gone on Home Shopping, sold out, gone on again, she's doing very well. As she drops into the store space, etc., she's helping others. She's being helped by people who have been before, and now she's helping others. We call it learn, earn, and then return. Andy has enough business. He's in 14 countries. When he needed some expansion in Mexico, we brought him to Slim, who's the wealthiest man on the Forbes list in the world. And they're shooting tequila shots with Slim, who put him in 127 Sears stores because he owns them. And also brought in the Military and National Guard of Mexico, and that's still going on. And as these things start mushrooming, you would think they would be done with us. And they are coming back to us to give back. They don't have an agenda. They're just coming to give back. They don't have anything they want. They've been to 22 of them. Now, do they have growth pains with that kind of speedy growth? You bet. The systems have to be changed as they grow, constantly. We're their invisible board. They come back every 2 months, and the people, they don't have to pay these people now, and they get, hey, this came up, how do we handle that? Oh, you do this, you do that. It is constant, and the value is so great. But they get new stores, they get new countries, they get new customers. Last time they were sitting at a platinum dinner, and the little Vietnam man was speaking about platinum. You hear him and you just think nothing of it. He is a former senior manager at Doolittle. He's done the vetting and due diligence on $500 million merger acquisitions. He has been with the U.S. State Department twice over in Vietnam to normalize trade relations with the government over there. He's a major player with connective tissue and who he knows. And these platinum players are pretty amazing. And what happens when you come and you get more and more successful, you just naturally go into the platinum program because it's a tax write-off, and you want to play with those guys, and it's fun. And half of those guys are gals. And so when you come, it's exciting and it's rewarding because there's mobility. What we do is, at the end of the day, and I'm going to get to this Andy part so you really get it, he's sitting at the table, just coming back to coach others, and he's picked up over 10,000 new stores, and you constantly need money. Even though you're making a lot of profit, you're investing it all back in inventory because you're exploding with growth all over the world. And he's just putting on Asia. He met a person at the platinum table, took him aside, and they brought him a big firm in New York, and they were doing a $50 million debenture. The firm in New York has looked at what they're doing, their growth curve, and decided they need 100 million. So they're going to do the 50 million with a line up to 100. And they want to stay with them for the future because they're going to supply all of it from here on in. That was a platinum lunch that was at the end of the thing where they were trying to coach and give back. They never knew that that was going to take place. The whole thing was going to come together for the future of all of it right there from one contact. I mean, this is what happens when you come back. I phoned him the other day, and I got voicemail, and he heard it was me, got off a conference call and picked it up. He's head of this thing all over the world. And he said, what? And I said, I'm with someone just like out with you, and I'm just coaching. And this is just this week out in LA. And I said, I've got a gentleman, and I'm looking at the product, and it's fabulous, and it isn't sold here. They're just bringing it to the U.S. from Asia. They're selling 35,000 units a year in Asia, but they haven't sold it in the U.S. And I said, it's a plastic situation that you put chains on, all plastic, no metal parts, and you put them on to the 4 tires when you have to put chains on in snow, or just the rear tires. And when you put it on, a lady can do it, and do it in 1 minute per tire and never get wet and never get freezing. And it's that 1 minute to put on, 1 minute to take off. And it's DOD certified, etc. I said, what if that was, your tow truck product? What if that was, tow chains for the winter right next to the tow truck in 40,000 stores? What would that do for your profits? What would that do for the debenture guys in New York? They found the debenture guys, they went nuts for it. The guy that I'm with said, I just won't do what I was going to do. I'll just let them take it, private label it, and I'll take a royalty. Now they're going to go together, and now, did he want to become a member? He hasn't even joined yet. And I said, and I did that while we were in the coaching, and we hung up, and he goes, this is like you're waking up from a dream or something. And I said, you have to understand something. We do this really, but now you owe me the membership. Because it isn't, you have to understand that it's got to be an equitable, we do this unselfishly. And then you come in and you find the biggest asset of it all. It isn't that you're going to find a new model for a trade show. Your old trade shows don't work. They're competitive. How many have gone to a booth trade show? You've been there, paid for it. You sit there, it's Wild West across the Alps. When I go, I get more money, I get more business from the booth people than the people. You're sitting there, I don't know, you're trying to, then or you're doing this, and then you phone later after you've done this, fishbowl, and then you phone them up, and hello, Doc, yeah. You remember me? We were at the trade show, did the green thing. I was talking to you about the green glider or whatever. Oh, yeah. Ruth, I think we won the free iPad. No, you didn't win the free iPad. We were talking, you were going to help me with this and endorse the product. Remember we talked about that, you might carry it in your office. Are you telling me you took me away from a patient and I did not win the iPad? Click. Next call, Hi, it's me. Remember from the trade show and everything? I won the iPad? No, you didn't win. It's just not very fruitful. You don't get your money back. And everyone in business at all levels, we said, look, the 2/3 of you that are up there and have some experience and so forth, whether you're investors or, because in the investor market, just think about what it's like. We're going to go to real estate, we're going to go into the market right now. If you can take whatever you would invest in high yield, and you would take 10% of it and put it in one project of emerging industries. There are 1,000 new industries coming online in this country right now. The jobs will come. It just takes time to recycle. We're moving from the horseshoe to the wheel. We're going to green construction. All these buildings are going to be reconstructed because it makes sense economically with these new green whole fabrications that they're coming up with, not just the materials, but the control of air, lights, power, everything. It's so much more economical. And it's going to create a boom, a new boom. There's alternative fuels. There's organic growing. There's biotechnology for your health. There's new nanotechnologies that are taking care of what the antibiotic-resistant bacteria they can't kill. Nanotechnology is taking it out. There's new longevity coming from all that. It is so exciting what's coming out. There are new industries with high-paying jobs, and it's coming out from here, and it's going to export all over the world. Getting in on those companies, they're going to have, I bought it at $1 a share, and it's worth $40 in 60 months. That's your time machine. The trick is, there's always risk in high growth ventures. Now, there's less when they have this kind of continuous support, so it's not perfect, but it's less. It's less risk. And so it's a safer bet if you just put 10% on one bet, 10% on another bet, and then you've got attorneys helping you make it, and in a week you're done, and you've met all of the management of the companies, and then you go back to your lifestyle. For investors, that's smart, fun, and they love it in the summer because they bring their children, wait a year for it, to our Teen Extreme Entrepreneur Program. And over 20 years, almost all our graduates, up at 90% level, own a business later rather than working on it. And if you're a mommy or daddy for that child, and you see that child get switched on, stay in school, have better grades, better postures, just see the world different, and opens up their future, and they say, oh, education will help me as I begin to own the business. And you turn them on to do that in their teen years. It's very exciting. And I haven't found anyone that's ever come, no matter how much money we made them or how big they became out of it, that didn't weep for what happened with their children. I mean, we tell you, if you will trust us with your children and bring your babies to us, we will send you home the leaders of tomorrow. And we do. And we work very hard to win your respect and trust on that. Now, 25 years later, we're endorsed by, when you get on the website, UN ambassadors, heads of nations, states, big companies, 100 celebrities that put their faith and reputation behind it. And you get in, so you see it's solid, and you go, why haven't I heard about it? It's a private membership club. It's priced to keep people out. You don't want everybody. I don't want people coming that are sleeping in their car. They need a couple stages before they come to us and sit next to you. It's not fair to you. So we need people that can contribute back. You don't have to be wealthy, but we have to have a certain level of cut. And we trust our members to invite people, someone invited you, who knows you, that knows us, that it's a fit. So I would say trust the people that invited you. It's more important than all the things you'll see on film. I'll give you 2 tips. If you want to learn about us in some depth, Dr. David Gruder, that you saw on the film there, is on our cover page. I thought they were going to play his film tonight. He's the top trainer for the largest companies in the world on integrity and integrity management. And he is part of our integrity team that runs our integrity accountability internally for our faculty when they deliver to you. For instance, faculty can't sell, market. They have to serve and mentor and tithe their brain. It's a contract legally to tithe. Their first tithing isn't money, it's their contacts and their expertise. And so we want the greatest trainers in the world to have this place as a give back. It's their charity. And help entrepreneurialism at all levels go up. And the biggest companies really appreciate that they can get Booz Allen and Accenture and partners, really big brass. And they don't have to pay these $50,000 a day rates. And just on branding, you all exist as a brand. We receive you as a brand. I'm telling you, in this change market we've got right now, you're redoing and looking at your branding for the second half of the year would do more for you with your customer base and increase your yields and sales if I never brought you customers in the first place. But you can't go through this market and not get customers because everybody has gone through a pre-class training, and if we miss something, like you pay to go and you're going through the pre-class little training, and you find out that, you know, I just want to get my stuff, I really don't want to help other people, we tell you over and over again, we will refund and FedEx your money to you. It's not a fit. So the cultural capital, if you said, what's the biggest asset in this place? It's not the mechanisms of how we do it. They're pretty pleasant, and I want you to understand, I'm not about done, but I want you to understand it. You come and you eat 6 hours a day. You're in breaks all the time to run your business. In the middle of the table are see-me cards to set up appointments. 3 hours in the evening, you're presenting to people who gave you, I want to follow up with you and do business with you. And because you've had a relationship meeting over a 2-hour meal, everybody knows each other pretty well now. And the difference, because of how we set it up, is you're leaning forward. When you do networking today without our training, I'm in a competitive world. I'm in a dog-eat-dog capitalism. Crush everybody before they crush you. I mean, that's the thing. Our shields are up. And say, is that the way we want our nation to be? Is that how we want to see our children grow up that are not born yet? Is that our inherited birthright for this nation and the dream of this nation? It was never the nation before. It just got a little off in the Industrial Revolution here. What we want is a cooperative capitalism. Capitalism competitively works on fear, punishment, and exploitation. Capitalism cooperatively works on common vision in a wagon wheel approach of spokes, divisions, people in a dentist office or fortune company, 140 division leaders. And everybody's focused on the common vision for the outer wheel momentum. And we all are in support of each other, and we do it with different systems. We do it with recognition, reward, and celebration. And when you have celebratory environments in the workplace, you have switched on, turned on people that don't compete with anybody. Apple is not competing with Microsoft. They don't care. They're trying to make a better iPad than they made last time. And that's the thrill of being in those more cooperative enterprises. We teach that to the biggest companies in the world. At our place, everybody's gone through some training, and you're leaning forward. When I'm talking to you, if I'm talking to Elijah, I'm not like listening to you and you're telling me about your business, but I'm just kind of courtesy. I'm really waiting for my turn, so you'll all help me, and I can get at least 2 or 3 non-crummy contacts and get out of it. You know, and that's normal networking. At our place, you're leaning forward and you ache if you can't help that person, if you don't have some contact, if you don't have an advice, if you can't, you want to really make a difference. And because everybody sees you're really playing at that level, when it comes time for you, it's a whole different level. Everybody's really making that commitment. When they give you appointment cards, etc., they show up, they bring you their contacts and so forth. And you'll have people show up, like maybe you're raising capital. A lot of money gets raised here. Go see Show Me the Money. Go online and just click Show Me the Money. Take a look at what a new, different kind of market to get that done looks like when it's cooperatively based. And I don't think there's anything like it out in the market anywhere. And everybody likes it. The investors like it, and the companies getting the capital like it. But most people are coming for customers. They're coming to hypergrow their business with systems and customer base, and they want markets. And we're bringing them alliances, affiliations. We're bringing them change the distribution. We're bringing them customers right here in Tampa. We're bringing them customers all over the state of Florida because we have offices. You know, we're putting these meetings on all over. They're in Boca, they're in Sarasota, they're in Orlando. We cover the state, but we cover all the states. And so now you're saying, wow, that's powerful. I mean, I could use that. One time I pay once. I can come back forever. I can go to all the clubs in all the cities and mushroom out every time I want in between. And I can get all the expert help in between as well. I just pay the one time, and I have this lifetime chair to trade at this place. Yeah. And so 6 hours a day you're eating, and 3 hours at night you're presenting. When I say at night you're presenting, I mean you got 8 or 9 people, and you have to say, I'm sorry, I have to ask you to leave because I got another group. And then you got another group. And then you go to bed. And I mean, that is punch. And that goes on for a week. So you say, the 26th is Tuesday at the end of this month. And we're just getting on. Will they pass the debt ceiling or not? I submit to you that we may be in for a double dip. And if we have, you know, some hard times coming still, being in a bigger community is the ballgame. You will protect your life. You won't even know what happened. You'll hire when others fire. You'll do well, and they won't know how you did it. Now, because we do training, it is the best training. Say every 2 years or so, should I get my business skills upgraded? It's imperative. But now, I believe since 9/11, this July is the most important period ever that we've done since the 9/11, 10 years. Why? Because of the change orders going on in the world. We have the same information that's being taught to the fortune companies about how to get through that you can't get anywhere that now drops down to you. Does that help you in your business? You can't believe it, the difference. People tell us they wouldn't trade what they got in software upgrade here. Your income If I say, what controls your income and the stubbornness to get it where you want it to be as fast as you want it to grow? Because we only do one sentence. We grow your money, your income, faster. You're going to have more money faster. You don't have to wait. You get it sooner. And I'm telling you what the mechanisms are. If you were there the 26th through Sunday, you'd have 1,000 people, but not like a seminar. When you go to a seminar, it's not like everyone knows Steve. Everyone knows Steve's business. We all know what he does. And we are committed to help him if we can. And that 1,000 knows 100,000. So you've got 100,000 in contacts, and you've got 1,000 that you've actually physically made the interaction with and met by the time you walk out of that week. And I said, that week, what are you doing? Where are you going to have 1,000? It takes 30 years to build a network like that. That's a 30-year network in a week at that quality level. That's the value. If you start studying this, you're going to see that's the value. And it's a shortcut. You will have a second half of this year you couldn't have any other way. And you'll give yourself a pay raise, and it's a tax dollar to get it. So don't leave the money there, take the tax reduction. And if you can, this one you're coming to, I'd bring the whole family. Your spouse comes at a fraction, and they own a full membership. The kids, if they're wheelie bags, young kids, there'll be a couple hundred of them, and it's all family value, and they just put their little blankets out and play their games. The teens are in the teen class. We subsidize them 90%. And I don't know, there's something about families in the summer coming together that business, you feel better even doing business with each other when you see each other's family values and how you are. And it's a very friendly, wonderful environment, but you will speed things up. You'll have a different second half of the year. And I'm just suggesting, if you could get 1,000 people in your life that really understood your business and help you, and the people they know, and then the experts that you're going to have friendships with, where you'll know a Jerry like a bosom buddy and they'll take 50, 70 private appointments. That's 5,000 private appointments. And the man I'm going to introduce next is the only add-on we really have to the whole program. If you become a lifetime member, and this isn't for everybody, but you know people. If it's not for you, you know people. And I want you to think, boy, for $900 extra, I could be in the mass marketing boot camp. What is that? I could be in a boot camp on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday embedded in this, and I'd be with Bob Schakowsky, who sold several $1 billion in television marketing, written the books on that subject, helped form the training for QVC and home shopping, started with home shopping when it was a radio channel, is the top on-air spokesperson most recognized in the world. And, I mean, he was with Fran Drescher, who's the nanny that you know, so famous, coaching her, came to one of our meetings to speak while she was on air. He should have been, you would think, in the green room with her or whatever. And she sold out. And then he went to the party, though, after. Left early. Left our place, went to the nanny's party, because he's with the superstar folks. But he's been a dear friend. He's been with us since 1991. And he came to me some time ago and said, I want to put this boot camp together where I'll bring in my contacts, and I'm going to bring in people that are in all these retail channels. They can bring you into the retail stores. Fashion, hard goods, all of them. And they're already there. They are the brokers. And they'll teach, but they'll also make the deals. They'll actually put your products out in mass market. You'll be on an infomercial on all channels. So we'll get you on home shopping, then an infomercial, then drop you to the retail all over the country. And the deals are made while it's going on. And you learn what you have to do to keep up. So you understand what the mechanisms are, because you misconceive things. You think you get a Costco order and you're made in the shape. They don't pay you. You've got 72 days where they're going to pay you. You have to keep stocking that over and over again. Where's the money coming from? You say, well, I can finance that contract. No, you can't. Not at all. Where's the money? Well, I didn't know that. I know. There's a lot of things you don't really understand when you're trying to break into that. But you'll know it all. You'll know it all when you walk out at the end of the month. And what will I say? The mistakes you would have made. What it resequences you in. And really, I look at this sentence to sum it up. Almost all of you are doing fine. I mean, you're making a living, you're doing okay. We're in the richest country in the world, and you're doing okay. You may be struggling, but you're doing okay. Could you do better? Could it be easier? Yes. What's the biggest problem? The biggest problem is the software here and the community. You need a bigger community, and you need software upgrade. And that makes your income go to a different level. But the reason is because you change your sequence. You're doing things that are right, but in the wrong sequence, and it's a killer. You resequence, and you can pay $50,000 for sequencing. You can pay $100,000 for branding. You get all that while you're there. And that's if you're a service business and you're life coaching, or if you're a multi-million-dollar business. So we're hyper-growth specialists. If you want to grow faster, welcome. If you want a shortcut, what's the cheapest, fastest way to grow my business? And some of you know, you kind of get, I always say, why do people go to CEO Space? Nothing to do with what I'm saying or what Bob's going to say next. Nothing. It's because of some inner thing, inner clock, because we're all spiritual, where you just know you've been asking for some help, you've been wanting it, and you're starting to see something that's complete. We spent $100 million on this. It's the no-nonsense stuff. It's not a seminar, it's not a workshop. That's a lake. This is the Pacific Ocean. Don't try and compare it. It's not, you will, I promise you this, it will feel and experience like nothing you've ever done in your life. And you will be so grateful. But if we aren't a fit, like you went through it and you didn't do well, you weren't doing well, it wasn't working for you. We will refund your money with a smile, as John said, and you're out of there. And John said, the only people that have taken that shouldn't be there. They didn't ask for it. We asked them to leave. They were trying to steal your companies. They were trying to give you $250,000 and take control of your company. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to lose control of that little bit of money. So those kind of people can't operate in our place. It's a little more fair than that. We protect our opportunities. Bob Circosta is my leader of my mass marketing boot camp. He's come right from the green room of home shopping. He's on air almost every day. You'll see him, prime time usually. And when he comes up here, his heart is helping entrepreneurs. He's been doing this since '91 with me. But the Mass Marketing Boot Camp, we've taken it to a new level, and the results are outstanding. We are making products, and he'll give you some of the success stories, that they would never get there in the time frame we got it shrink wrap to. Like 90 days instead of perhaps 3 years. We'll shave 2 to 3 years off. And if you decide you're going to get into this thing, I promise you this. By the holidays this year, you will have an entirely different income and future and grounded base. And if that isn't honest and true, if there's any exaggeration, we'll just refund that old money. I mean, you'll have to learn some non-crummy tips and meet some non-crummy people out there, and you'll have your money back. But if it's anything better than that, you won't trade this membership in for anything, because it's improved your life. And the reason I stayed up all night to come in here to this was to make sure that you had not just Bob, but you had the founder, and you had something that you can't put in a box that is my heart. And what I ask is that when you come, you're not open-minded. We want you to be open-minded, and I want to help you with that aspect. But I want you to be open-hearted for each other. And if you do that, I believe this will happen. When you get into cooperation in your businesses together and start really helping each other cooperatively, we'll reinvent this nation. We'll give it to the children in a way we can be proud of. If you'll do that for each other, I believe you will change your world. And as you change your world, you change our world. And as we change our world with all these clubs, and I know at the Fortune level like 3M and the other companies we've trained, we are changing the world. Because that's why I'm working with the UN and governments all over the world now. And so this is very exciting, and it really is grabbing traction in ideas and capitals all over of a better way to create jobs and to move things forward. So with that in mind, the other part of getting the mass marketing products, and remember you may know somebody who needs this, how? And it won't take long, but it'll be exciting. And the man that makes that magic happen has spent years putting this together, so it's fail-safe. Ladies and gentlemen, the man that sold more products than anybody I